he heard his own voice confess things he had never said out loud, things no one else on earth could possibly know. And whoever was speaking knew exactly where he was listening from. Adam Calloway had built his life around sound. Every syllable he spoke into the microphone felt like laying a brick. Deliberate, purposeful, permanent. His podcast, Dark Wave Frequency, had grown from a hobby recorded in his bathroom to a show with 60,000 loyal listeners. He knew his own voice better than he knew his own face. The slight rasp when he spoke past midnight. The way his breath caught before he said something he truly believed. He knew every imperfection, every rhythm, every silence. That was why, when he first heard the file, his blood didn't just run cold, it stopped entirely. It started with a message from a listener named Sarah. She sent him a link with no explanation, just 3 words. "Is this you?" The file was uploaded to an obscure audio hosting site. No username, no profile picture, no timestamp Adam could verify. He clicked play with the lazy curiosity of someone who expected a prank. What came through his headphones made him rip them off and press himself back against his chair. It was his voice. Unmistakably, impossibly his. The same rasp, the same breathing pattern, the same cadence he had spent 3 years perfecting. But the words, he had never spoken those words. The recording described, in precise detail, an argument he'd had with his younger brother Ryan 7 years ago. An argument no one else had witnessed. No cameras, no phones. Just 2 brothers in a parking lot at 2 a.m, saying things that couldn't be taken back. He told himself it was a deep fake. The technology existed. People had the tools. Someone had scraped enough of his audio and fed it into a model sophisticated enough to replicate his voice with sickening accuracy. He reported the file. He posted about it carefully on his community page, warning listeners about AI manipulation. He even recorded a bonus episode addressing it. Calm, measured, professional. But 3 days later, another file appeared. Different site, same voice. This one described the night his father died. Not the public version Adam had shared on the podcast, the private version. The version where he had sat alone in a hospital corridor eating a vending machine sandwich because he couldn't bear to be in the room when it happened. The guilt of that sandwich had lived in his chest for 4 years like a splinter too deep to reach. Adam went quiet for a week. He stopped recording. He stopped answering emails. He sat in his studio, which no longer felt like a sanctuary, and listened to old episodes trying to find some fragment of audio that could have been extracted and assembled into what he was hearing. There was nothing. The conversations in those recordings were too specific, too emotionally accurate, too intimate to be constructed from available material. Whoever was doing this wasn't mimicking him. They were inhabiting him, speaking his memories back to him in his own mouth. The 3rd file came with a subject line in his private email, an address he had never made public. The subject read, "Episode 6 is almost ready." He didn't open it for 2 days. When he finally did, there was no body text, just an attachment. He uploaded it to his editing software and watched the waveforms stretch across the screen like a long, dark scar. 41 minutes. He pressed play and sat in the dark. The voice talked for the first 20 minutes about his childhood home, the specific smell of the hallway after rain, the sound the 3rd stair made. The way his mother hummed without realizing she was doing it. Details so precise they couldn't exist in any database. Details that lived only inside Adam. Then the voice shifted. It began describing people Adam had wronged. Not dramatically, not with anger, calmly, methodically, the way a doctor reads a chart. A college friend he had stopped returning calls to after borrowing money he never paid back. A woman he had hurt badly in 2019 by simply disappearing without explanation. A colleague whose idea he had repackaged and presented as his own early in his career. Each name, each date, each detail correct. The voice spoke without judgment, but somehow that was worse. It was the tone of something that had observed him for a very long time and had stopped feeling anything about what it saw. With 6 minutes remaining, the voice paused. Not an editing cut, a deliberate pause. The kind Adam himself used before delivering something he needed the audience to absorb. When it resumed, something had changed. The performance quality of the earlier recordings was gone. What replaced it was something flatter, more direct, more present. You've been trying to figure out how someone could know these things. Stop. That question doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that you're listening to this alone, in the dark, in the studio, with the door closed. I know because that's the only way you ever hear anything that frightens you. You've always needed to be alone with the things that scare you. It's why you started the podcast. Talking into a microphone in an empty room felt safer than talking to a person who could talk back. Adam's hand moved toward the spacebar to stop it. He didn't press it. Don't turn it off, Adam. Episode 7 is already recorded. Your listeners will hear it whether you publish it or not. The only question left is whether you'll hear it first, or whether they will. The file ended. Adam sat in the silence for a long time. Outside, 60,000 people waited for his next episode. Inside the room, his own voice had just made him a stranger to himself. He reached for the microphone. Then, slowly, he pulled his hand back. And for the first time in 3 years, Adam Calloway had nothing to say.